How do I create an SCP? How do you create an SCP, you say, that wasn't totally me? Well, that's a very important question. Maybe too important, like, what are those blobs that end up on our beaches? Why there's no official hot dog joint in the market? But back to the topic, how do you create something very unpleasant? Number 1, find a picture, possibly royalty free, and when I say picture, I mean photograph. So blot the razorfish, you're out of luck. Find an image, or take one, of something kind of imperfect, something off-putting. For example, this Starbucks cup, not good enough. You want the type of quality you see with a test shot of someone's new camera, and what that thing in the picture should or should not be, make it something very unusual. Here's a useful tip, try taking it in black and white. Look at SCP-6373, absolutely horrific. Try taking a picture of something normal. For example, look at this picture of a normal subway. Looks pleasant enough and then suddenly, oh my god, stay away. Or use Photoshop, I don't really care. Number 2, what should I classify my SCP as? There are several classes you can put your SCP under, but only 2 really count. Here's an idea, try going with Euclid. I always want to know what I'm looking at can possibly put an end to my whole career, while not being pretentious like Keter, where it's mostly based on how powerful it is, to the point where writers are trying to one-up each other by creating a more world-ending monster, turning it into a more Cold War-esque style competition. You should always prefer Euclid for how creative you can make something. Something that should get you in your sleep, or something you can walk into without knowing the danger. Number 3, writing the damn thing. The execution of your idea might be the most important thing. Just remember to write from a second-person perspective, referencing it by documentation. Make it technical, and even make sure you don't know the full story of it, leaving some blanks in the work. And don't worry you can't write. Let your nightmares be your guide, as though you're writing about your nightmare's nightmare. And try to read up on other SCPs so you can be as original as you can. Refrain from using a well-established cryptid, as your subject. It's not fun at all. Number 4, submit the thing and wait. And there you go, your own SCP. Now just forget you ever heard it from me, and if you don't hear from me again, that's because I have nothing else to say.